Rich Woman by Kim Kiyosaki. Rich Woman by Kim Kiyosaki explores financial independence as a matter of personal responsibility, education, and long-term thinking. Although written to encourage women to take control of their financial futures, its principles apply to anyone seeking greater freedom and security. Kim Kiyosaki argues that many people unknowingly rely on employers, spouses, governments, or retirement plans to determine their financial future. The book challenges readers to replace dependence with financial capability by learning how money works and intentionally building income-producing assets. For entrepreneurs, leaders, and professionals, the message is that financial literacy is not simply about accumulating wealth. It is about creating greater choice, resilience, and independence. First, taking responsibility for financial independence. Kiyosaki begins by emphasizing personal responsibility. Financial independence does not happen by accident, nor is it reserved for people born into wealth. It begins when individuals accept responsibility for understanding how money works. Many people spend years developing professional expertise while investing very little time learning about personal finance. They become highly skilled at earning income but remain unfamiliar with investing, asset ownership, taxes, or long-term wealth creation. The implication is significant because income alone rarely guarantees financial security. High earners can still experience financial instability if they fail to convert earned income into productive assets. When responsibility is ignored, financial outcomes remain dependent on external circumstances. When responsibility is embraced, individuals begin making intentional decisions that improve long-term stability. Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. A central lesson in Rich Woman is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Financial independence grows from consistently acquiring assets that generate income rather than accumulating possessions that continually consume it. Assets such as businesses, investments, and income-producing real estate strengthen financial stability over time. Liabilities, even desirable ones, require ongoing financial support without creating meaningful cash flow. The implication is that wealth is built through ownership rather than consumption. Individuals who consistently invest in productive assets create increasing financial flexibility, while those who continually expand their expenses often remain dependent on active income. Financial education creates better decisions. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial confidence comes from education. Understanding investing, business ownership, taxes, and cash flow allows individuals to make informed decisions instead of relying entirely on others for financial guidance. The book encourages continuous learning because financial literacy improves judgment and reduces uncertainty. Those who invest in financial education gain greater confidence in evaluating opportunities and managing risk. Without this knowledge, many people postpone important financial decisions. With it, they become more capable of building long-term wealth intentionally. Overcoming fear and limiting beliefs. The book also examines the psychological barriers that prevent financial growth. Fear of failure or losing money often discourages people from investing or pursuing entrepreneurial opportunities. Kiyosaki argues that confidence develops through education and experience rather than waiting until every uncertainty disappears. Mistakes become opportunities to improve financial judgment rather than reasons to stop learning. Those who allow fear to dominate often remain financially stagnant. Those who continue learning despite uncertainty gradually expand both their knowledge and their opportunities. Building wealth for freedom, not status. A recurring theme throughout Rich Woman is that wealth should create freedom rather than simply finance consumption. Kiyosaki distinguishes between appearing wealthy and becoming financially independent. Financial independence allows individuals to make decisions based on purpose rather than necessity. It creates flexibility in career choices, business ventures, and personal priorities because income is no longer tied exclusively to active employment. The implication is that wealth should increase options rather than obligations. Financial resources become tools for creating a more intentional life rather than symbols of social status. When wealth is pursued primarily for appearance, expenses often rise alongside income. When wealth is viewed as a source of freedom, investment decisions become more strategic and sustainable. Long-term thinking and consistency. Another important principle is patience. Wealth creation is presented as a long-term process built through consistent action rather than quick success. Small financial decisions repeated over many years often produce greater results than occasional dramatic efforts. Regular investing, disciplined saving, and continuous education create compounding benefits that become increasingly significant over time. This perspective encourages consistency rather than urgency. Financial independence is less about finding the perfect investment and more about maintaining disciplined habits over decades. When individuals chase shortcuts, they frequently expose themselves to unnecessary risk. Those who focus on consistent progress create more stable and predictable outcomes. Business applications. The principles presented in Rich Woman extend naturally into entrepreneurship and leadership. Business owners who understand financial fundamentals make stronger strategic decisions regarding investment, growth, and long-term sustainability. Financial literacy also improves leadership because resource allocation becomes more intentional. Leaders who understand cash flow, assets, and long-term value creation are better equipped to evaluate opportunities and manage organizational growth responsibly. The book's emphasis on ownership is particularly relevant for entrepreneurs. Building businesses, acquiring productive assets, and developing multiple income streams all contribute to greater resilience during periods of economic uncertainty. At the organizational level, financially educated leaders are often more effective at balancing growth opportunities with prudent risk management. Actionable takeaways. Rich Woman demonstrates that financial independence begins with education, personal responsibility, and disciplined investing rather than income alone. Building wealth requires acquiring productive assets, developing financial knowledge, and making consistent long-term decisions. The book also highlights that financial freedom is ultimately about expanding choice. By focusing on ownership instead of consumption and treating learning as a lifelong investment, individuals create greater resilience, flexibility, and opportunity over time. Conclusion. Rich Woman presents financial independence as a skill developed through education, intentional action, and long-term thinking. Kim Kiyosaki argues that lasting wealth comes from building productive assets that create freedom rather than dependence. For entrepreneurs, leaders, and professionals, the book reinforces a simple but powerful idea. Taking ownership of financial decisions today creates greater opportunity, resilience, and independence tomorrow. If you found this summary valuable, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more leadership and personal development insights designed to help busy professionals grow in less than 10 minutes. Kiyosaki, Kim, Rich Woman. Because I hate being told what to do. Plata Publishing, 2006.